Okay, so our animation portion is also ready. Now we are going to add some dynamics to this object. So for that, what I'm going to do, I'm going to select this object, and by holding control, I'll simply create one copy of it. I'll select this robot and let's go somewhere around over here when this object is properly at the center, which is at 60 frames. And now let's see this object. I'll select this, and by holding shift, I'll select this. I'll right click and I'm going to choose connect object plus delete. So now what will happen, we will get this extra object and there is no animation or anything to it, and we will get this a little bit of spline, but we don't want that, so we will delete that also. So if you see, now we will get this object and then it will look like this object is coming from back. Okay, and now we have to add dynamics to this object, and we are going to add Voronite fracture, so it will look like this is going to break this object. So now I'll go to the Mo graph and I'm going to enable my Voronite fracture over here. I'll select this robot and I'll move inside this Voronite fracture. So because of that, if I hit Ctrl R, we will still get the same results because we have one materials are already applied to this object. But if you see, we are not still getting anything because this is not any dynamic object. So now we have to add dynamics to our scene. So I select this flow, right click, and I'm going to go to the simulation tag, and I'm going to choose collider body tag. Now because this is flow, so it's going to be static, so I'll select this tag over here. And shape, right now it's not shape, but yeah, shape, right now it's automatic, so let's choose static mesh because this is not going to animate. Now we have this robot over here because we have already added keyframes, so we don't need to apply rigid body tag to it. We will right click, go to the simulation tag, and we will choose a collider body only because this is going to collide to this object. Okay, so this is clear. Now select this collider body tag, go to the inherit tag, apply tag to children, and individual elements choose all. Okay, and now we are going to apply finally our dynamics to this Voronite fracture. Right click, go to the simulation tag, and I'm going to choose rigid body tag. Now apply tag all to children like this, and select this Voronite fracture, and if you hit play now, it will try to collapse immediately. So we don't want that. I want the collapse thing should happen when this going to collide with this one. So for that, what we can do, I can simply select this Voronite fracture. I'll go to the dynamics module, and instead of trigger immediately, I'm going to choose on collision. So now what will happen, whenever something is going to collide with object, then only it will try to collapse. Okay, so we'll get this kind of stuff. So now if you see this thing, we will get something like this. And let's go somewhere around over here. Let's go to the start and let's hit play, and let's try to see this at render at this point. And if you hit Control R over here, you will get something like this. But over here, what I want over here, that if you see the inner portion of this is looks quite weird. The inner portion are not like this. I want some different thing over here. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to select this Voronite fracture, and let's go to the selection. I'll choose inner faces and outer faces over here. Now what I'm going to do, I'll simply double click and I'm going to apply this color over here, and let's select this. And if you see over here, this is my inside faces, and I'll select this and I'll move the selection over here. Now if I hit Control R, I'll still get this thing. But if I go and see, and if I hit Control R, now if you see properly, the inside faces are with this color. And now suppose if I select this color and if I enable my luminance over here, and now if I hit Control R, I'll get different results on inside faces like this. So now what I'm going to do, simply double click and go to the glow option, or instead of that, you don't need to follow this procedure. It looks quite weird also. So this is a thing or you can also do. So let's delete those faces. I don't want that, like that. So if you see, now we will get this animation like this, then this. So yep, this is how you can add dynamics to your object. And if you want, then you can select this Voronite fracture, you can go to the object source, you can select this and you can add more points to it. Like if I choose 100 over here, I'll get more to this. And now if I see this animation, I'll get more particles through this object. Okay, so this is also you can do inside of Cinema 4D. So yep, this is how you can create this kind of dynamic animations in Cinema 4D. And after all of this stuff is ready, I mean my camera movement is also ready, my materials are also normal. Even if I hit Control R, as you guys can see, my lights are also fine. And let's go to the center of object. Let's select this lines. Let's say this white light. I'm going to increase the intensity of this to, let's say, 130, just a little bit of increase in white light like this. So I'll get something like this. So my entire animation is ready now. And there is another thing you can do. You can simply double click to create another material. You can apply this to this flow, and if you hit Control R, you will get that color over here also. So you will get this kind of structure of this thing over here like this. And if you want, then you can go to the reflectance, and instead of specular plane, I'm going to choose black man. Roughness, I'm going to reduce it, and I'm going to increase the reflection strength. So what will happen, along with this white color, you will get a little bit of reflection of that thing also. Like if you go over here, and if you reduce the reflections totally, and if you increase the reflection strength over here, and now if you hit Control R over here, as you guys can see, instead you will get the shadow, but along with that you will get the reflection of that object also. So this is also one thing you can do like this, and you will get some pretty awesome results. Obviously it will take a little bit time to render, but as you guys can see, you are gonna get a reflection of it. And if you increase the reflections totally up to, let's say, 80%, and if you want, then you can, instead of white color, you can choose black color also. So you will get a little bit more proper reflections over here also, if you see like this. If I go somewhere around over here, and if I try to see this thing now, if I hit render, as you guys can see, I'll get this kind of results. And if you want, you can go over here and you can choose reflectance like this, and reflection strength should be proper like this. Then this is also okay, you can do that also. And otherwise you can choose simply normal white color to it, so that would be also good. So I'm going to stick with this only because this looks good to me. So yep, this is how you can create this kind of animation. Let's reduce a little bit of intensity of this white to, let's say, 110, because of that other lights are not visible properly. So yep, this is how you can add dynamics to your animation, and you can create several animations like this.